obviously, my editor would murder me in my sleep if I don't ask about House of the Dragon. I know better than to ask anything spoiler ish. But just, can you tell me what your reaction was when you found out that the series was going to be made? Because obviously there was, I think it was 5 or 6 shows that were in consideration at one point. So that's kind of a different process than just you pitched one project, kind of knowing there was a little bit of competition out there.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was actually the last the last writer into the mix.
Mhm.
So there was a previous attempt, development, different script, different writer on this particular storyline
Right.
that didn't work out for whatever reason. Honestly, I never even, you know, the script never even passed through me because it was starting anew. It was a new idea, new kind of way ahead. And they developed these 5 ideas. They ended up I was sort of somewhat funny. I think I was one of the first writers they spoke to when they started talking about the spinoffs, and then I was kind of the last guy that they spoke to.
Mhm.
And I'm a big I have spoken about this before, but I'm a huge Westeros fan. I discovered those books 20 years ago. I was a George R.R. Martin super fan. The reason that I know George, the reason that he approached me with this job, was because I fan stalked him when I was making a pilot in Santa Fe, where he kept a house, and I knew I was going to be there for 2 months, and I just said to my agents, "Hey, can I know George lives in the area. Can I buy him dinner at some point while I'm here?" So they set it all up. We went out, hit it off. He liked me. He liked that I had brought a cool Western to shoot in his backyard. So we just kept in touch, and he brought up my name a few times very kindly with HBO because he liked me, and they spoke to me very early when they were starting this spinoff process, and I had kind of very passionately pitched Dunk and Egg as a spinoff idea, because I was like, that's a great way to go, because the original series is, how do you even follow it? It's so big, it's so it's so scopy, it's so successful. I was like, the only way to do it is just to go against the grain and do something really different. So the idea of this, the kind of lone wolf and cub, like the wandering swordsman
Right.
through the countryside. And it just, George just really, the HBO loves Dunk and Egg. They desperately love it, but George really wants to finish writing those stories, I think, before that's adapted, and I think he wants to be a little bit more involved with that over time. So that was sort of, it was a conversation that came and went. So I came back in at the end and did this, and I thought, when he pitched this idea to me, I was like, oh yeah, the story of the Targaryens is definitely the story that we should be telling. That's great. I got really excited, obviously, just to have the shot. I went at it thinking that I'm going to just give it my all. I know I'm up against like 5 or 6 different competitors, but I was I was shocked. I mean, I knew it was going well because I knew they liked it,
Mhm.
and but I didn't, I never anticipated that, because I was being set up that they were just going to, if they were going to do anything, they were going to make a pilot.
Right.
And Miguel got involved, who I was close, had become close friends with. We developed 3 other things together that never got made, but we knew each other. And so when we got kind of match made for this, it felt like HBO liked that idea because they love him as a director. He's a brilliant director. He knows Thrones,
Absolutely.
obviously.
Yeah.
Um, so it kind of felt like, oh, they're going to make this pilot, and I was getting really excited. And we got the call, like, that I was thinking, oh, it's all of HBO. They're greenlighting the pilot, and they said we're making the whole series. And I was like, I was like, I went into like static shock. I just couldn't, I
Sure.
couldn't believe it, and I like staggered out of my office, and then I went upstairs. And I think I was just laughing because I couldn't get out the sentence. I had to go tell my wife, like, hey, we're moving to Europe. But it was. I mean, there are some ugly days when you do this for a living, but that was definitely so far the best day that I've had as a writer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you brought up the Dunkin' Egg. That was definitely, as far as from an outsider's perspective, one of the stories that we thought would also make a great show. So because it is so different from, like you were saying, it is so different from the original series. It's much smaller in scope.
Yeah.
You have the big events, but just it's a little different. So how how do you, when you're writing the show, and again, as spoiler free as possible, how do you keep House of the Dragon from feeling like just Targaryen Game of Thrones, and differentiating it from the original series?
I mean, I think it's anything that I mean, without saying anything, because
Right.
I will get, they have actually a device inside my head that they can just detonate remotely, and they'll just replace me with, somebody else, if I say anything. But I think, as any writer, and I think, Dave would probably say the same thing, is anytime you approach a project, it's like, why are we telling this story? Why are we, and that's usually a theme question. So the original series has certain themes, and I think, Miguel and I have found together this thematic that runs very much through the Targaryen dynasty that we're very excited about, and that to me, gives you the sort of all the kind of familiarity of the original that people love so much, while having a very different thing to say about the show. And my thing is, like, Miguel always says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're
Sure.
really trying to approach the show and honor all the things that were great about the original, while not just doing the same, a cover of the song that you've heard before. So it's trying to be original without trying to completely break the box, right? And that's the balance that we're trying to walk. And I'm very proud of what we've done. Look, I'm trying to write the series that makes me very happy as a 2-decade fan of this thing. So I feel like if I can accomplish that, then I've done most of the work that I would expect of whoever else was doing this if I was sitting on my couch as a fan of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, we're all very excited about it. We're watching and scratching and, reading the tea leaves and trying to find out. The news came out the other day that Patty Considine had been cast as Viserys.
Yes.
What do you think about that casting?
Oh, well, I mean, I cast him, so I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Why was Patty the one that was chosen? Because obviously Viserys is a key role in the show, without spoiling anything for people who haven't read the Fire and Blood. But what specifically maybe made you guys choose Patty as that role?
I mean, he's just an incredible actor. Honestly, like, we didn't talk about anybody else. It was, as soon as that idea came up, we talked about him. He can do anything. You look at his body of work, and he's done from comedy to dark drama. He's just a incredibly gifted actor, and we know that he can pull off whatever we give him to do.